Okay, let's see. We're gonna get, yes, all right. This is what we like to see. We like to see everything starting at once. This is very, very good. All right. Hi, so welcome. My name is Kathleen Sinnott, and I am getting ready to go live at 9 o'clock with the BA Zone Live, where I'm going to talk about communication tools to help improve the communication among your teammates on the project, whether it's just your fellow BAs or everybody on the project. I am a solo act tonight. Mayor can't be here, so I'm going to be juggling a little bit. I need to beg your patience on that score. But we'll be okay. We can do this together, right? Hopefully you will be joining in on the comments. I think I have the comments tool working, so I will bring up your comments as they come in, hopefully. She says optimistically. Yeah, okay, that looks like that's down here, so that's good. Let me just test it real quick here. What's going on here? Okay, yes, we're getting our notifications up. That's good. Why is this? I don't know why this is not coming across. Let's see. Did I do this here? I did. All right, it's working. Woohoo! Okay. So, hopefully, as things are going live here, everybody will be joining in. Let's see here. I just need to verify everybody everywhere. That's not tonight's show. That was, there we go. There's the live show. Okay. So it looks like Periscope is up, and there's 2 of you out there on Periscope. Hello, thank you so much for coming by. And we're going to check, I think Facebook will join us in about 5 or 6 minutes, and I need to check to see if YouTube should be up. Let's see if that's working. Oh, where's my link for that? Come on. Oh, come on. You've been doing so good. Don't blow it now. Let's see. Not that one, not that one, not that one. Where is it? How about it? YouTube, are you out there? Let's take a look and see. We're going to try a different spot here. Yes. Yes. Okay, good. So that's out there too. Excellent. We are on a roll then. Okay, so we're good here. We're good there. It looks like I have the tool up. Did I lose the tool? Really don't want to do this to you. Okay, so that's good. It looks like I lost the comment tool for Periscope. So let me try that real quick. I got a couple of minutes, right? I hope everybody's having a good day. I had a very productive day. I have been going at 100 miles an hour all day. But that was a good thing because I needed to get a lot done today, and I had a extra pair of hands available. Now, you may have saw me talk about that earlier. Oh, no, that's not going to work. Try it this way. I just want to make sure we're getting sound. It looks like I'm putting out sound. I'm just not sure that the sound is coming through. So let me double check. So yeah, I have been rocking and rolling since I got up this morning. I was up late last night because I was trying to get everything ready for the show because I knew today was going to be very, very busy, and I was afraid I was going to run out of time, which I pretty much did. But, you know, I got everything done last night, so that was good. But I have just been going, like 100 miles an hour, got a ton done. It was just an awesome day. I love those kind of days where, like, you know, you make your list and you actually get all the way through the list and then even add a few things on, which has just been fantastic. And I hope everybody else is having that kind of a day. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. That is what I'm looking for. And, oh, okay, right. So, okay, so that's, looks like Facebook is going live now, so we'll give that a try. And in the meantime, I will switch over and try on Periscope to make sure that I am actually putting out sound. It's a lot harder when I'm doing this alone, but that's the way it goes, right? It's all about rolling with the punches. Okay, come on, tell me I've got sound. Come on. Come on. Yes? Come on, sound. Okay, good. We got it. All right. So, oh, we got a whole 5 minutes. We can chat. How cool is that? Okay. Oh, well, that means that I can double check my, where did it go? I have so many windows open here. I should take a picture of this and show you sometime. I'm just juggling. So it looks like I lost my chat window. So let me open that up again. There we go. Okay, I don't know why that went away, but it's back now. And I will refresh it. So with this tool, in theory, if everything goes the way I need it to, when you folks make a comment, I can then bring it up on the screen and share it with everybody, which is big fun. So hopefully that is going to cooperate for us today. I think it will. I've been testing it, and it's been behaving pretty well. So I am optimistic. Yeah, I know what happens when I get optimistic, but I'm going to stay optimistic anyway. Just because I can, right? Okay, let's see here. All right. Okay, we are cooking with gas, it looks like. I would just like to get the verification on mobile that Facebook is working. Come on. I will say, just to cover the bases, that Facebook has been a little wonky as far as showing me comments lately, which is why I'm trying to bring it up here, because I was on yesterday, I guess it was, and also last week. I kind of got the feeling like, because we were having a conversation and we were going back and forth, and then all of a sudden the comments stopped, and it didn't feel like the people had dropped off. And sure enough, both times after I ended the show, that's when all the comments popped up, which is really counterproductive if they want us to be engaged. And since we want to have a conversation, I need to see the comments. So hopefully that's going to behave tonight. And I'm going to try one more time here with the Periscope one, since I have a couple of minutes. So for those of you who are just joining in, this is the pre-show. I'm just getting everything ready. Oh, good, I got them back up. And tonight we're going to talk about communication tools. So different tools that you can use to improve your communication, to make it easier to communicate with others on your team, whether it's just your fellow BAs or everybody on the project. And to be perfectly frank, some of these tools are just handy for life too. So that's a nice little bonus, right? Anytime we can get a bonus out of life, I say sign me up. Okay, so let me see if I can put this here. You know, I bought this honkin' big monitor, and no matter how big the monitor is I get, it seems like I still need more monitor space. Let me see if I can move this over here. And move this here. And that. Alright, maybe that'll work. It's worth a try. What have we got to lose, right? You gotta live on the edge. Okay. Alrighty. I think we are about ready to go, and we've got 2 minutes to spare. I love it when a plan comes together. Yes, sirree. So, and please, by all means, if you have, that's what I need to do. I gotta stop that for now. If you have a favorite tool that you would like to share with the community, please, please, please go right ahead and pop that into the comments so that I can share it with everybody, because that's what we're here for, right? We're all here to help each other out. We're all here to help share ideas, answer questions for everybody. You know, Mary and I are more than happy to jump in and do it, but we want to hear from you guys too. So please, if you have anything that you care to share, if you have questions, if you have tips that you want to share, go right ahead, because that's what makes this more fun. That's what makes the community a lot more fun. And that's how we all move forward, right? We all, you know, work off of each other's ideas. It's collaboration at its finest. And that's what we are shooting for here. We have a pretty good group of people. We just need to get you commenting. We hear from you offline, which is wonderful, and we appreciate the hearts and the thumbs up and all that kind of good stuff. That's wonderful. The shares have been great. Oh, and when we start officially in a minute, I do have a little announcement that just gave us the warm fuzzies. But yes, please feel free to join in. And if you are catching this on the replay, feel free to go ahead and, you know, throw into the comments too, because we do always follow up. We always check back and see. I mean, we go check back, you know, months later even, just to make sure that we don't miss anybody who has something that they want to add or ask or whatever. So I'm just realizing the lights here are a little bright today. Part of what we did was tear the parts of the office apart, and so not everything is where I would usually have it. So I'm going to be fumfering a little bit. Not enough to be doing a solo show, but I had to rearrange my world at the same time. But okay. All right, it is 9 o'clock. It is time to officially start. Okay, let me just take a quick sip here. I am going to just mute the mic so you don't have to listen to that. Oh, that's the other part of today. It's a lot of talking. Okay. Hi, welcome to the BA Zone Live. My name is Kathleen Sinnott, and I am thrilled to have you here. I hope that you've had a wonderful day and you're ready to dive in on our topic, which tonight is communication tools. basically, we're just going to mention a few. It's just me tonight. Mare can't be here. So I'm going to mention some of our favorite tools. I did go to Mare and get some of her suggestions. And just little things that we have found over the years are really, really helpful to help us communicate better, to make the team work better together, whether it's just, us BAs working together, or sometimes we expand it to the whole project, whatever works depending on the situation. And we invite you to share yours. Please don't be shy. Go ahead and toss any of your favorite tools into the comments, and I will share those with everybody out there in our community. All right, so I hope everybody is doing good. I hope you've had a good day. Your week is going well. We're early enough in the week that, hopefully everything is still going good. We also would like to ask you to like and follow us so that you get notifications about when we're going to go live. And the thumbs up and the hearts are always welcome. The shares are very much appreciated. And so I'm going to start off on a really good topic here, on a really good note. So this is going to sound like maybe a little thing to a lot of people who maybe are in bigger communities, but in our little community here, we hit a milestone. We had 200 people like our page on Facebook, and we just want to say thank you. That's so nice. We're so glad that you're getting value out of this and that you're enjoying it. We love hearing from everybody, and so that's just a nice little milestone. We're hoping to see soon the same numbers over on YouTube. Come on, YouTube, we know you can do it. We know we started you late. It's our fault. It took us a little while to get all the bugs worked out of that part of the system. And Facebook, Periscope, we are working to try to find a better solution for the comments. But we do appreciate you sticking in there and throwing the comments in. It's very, very helpful. Also, you can always find us if you go over to thebazone.com. You can also join our mailing list by going to thebazone.com/mailing list. We promise we don't spam, we don't sell the list, but it just gives us another way to keep you up to date on the things that we're doing. Okay, so is everybody ready to dive in? I certainly am. I'm very excited about this. I like the tools. I find that the tools can not only be fun, but very, very helpful. Okay, so when we talk about communication tools, it's a very broad topic, and we did that on purpose because we wanted to get your feedback on stuff. So we're going to start off with some of our favorites. But basically, any tool that helps you communicate your message, your questions, your comments, your content to the people on your team, on your project, that's a good thing. And whether that is, pencil and paper, emails, all those traditional kinds of things, that's all good. That's all wonderful. The spreadsheet templates that you're building, the Word templates, or whatever version of a document template, these are all very, very good things. And we kind of assume that everybody knows about these kinds of things. So we're just going to talk about some other things that maybe you haven't heard of or you haven't had a chance to work with. Just to kind of broaden the scope a little bit for you. So let's dive in. Sorry, like I said, I'm doing this solo today. So Mare's not here for those of you who are just joining. It's just going to be me tonight. And so I'm juggling everything at once here. So I'm going to have to be a little patient. I have to beg your patience for this one. This is going to be a little bit of a back and forth. All right. Yes. Okay. So first I'm going to start off with a tool that I have started to recommend to pretty much everybody in my world because it's one of those little handy tools that is real quiet, until it finds the right time to help you. But the people who are using it are finding it to be very, very helpful, and it really cuts down on those embarrassing little errors that sometimes you make just because you're rushing or you're tired. And it ties back into the things we talked about. So for those who maybe are joining just for this one, all month we've been talking about communication, and we talked about the importance of vocabulary, using the right vocabulary for your audience. Excuse me, we talked about how important grammar is to make sure that you're communicating clearly and also presenting yourself and your content in the best light. We also talked about format and structure of your communications. And so if you haven't seen those, please go back and you can pick those up on the replays. Those are all out there on Facebook, Periscope, and Twitter. Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube. There we go. So this first tool that I want to show you ties into the grammar thing. One sec. Let me switch you over here. And, oh, no, please come up. Really? I'm still here. Relax. Don't worry. It's okay. Nope. Hang on. See, it's going to be that kind of night, folks. Okay. Don't know why that didn't come up with just the desktop, but I can get that up in a second. So this is called Grammarly. Let me, I'm going to zoom you in a little bit because I know it's a little hard to see. There we go. That's better. All right. Let me see if I can get this up without my picture just so you can see the whole thing. One sec. Okay. There we go. So Grammarly is a free tool that you can either just use online or you can plug it in. And that's really the way to use it, is to plug it into your browser. There's also a desktop app that you can load. And what it does is what it's showing you here. Once you have it loaded and you've given it the right permissions, as you're typing, whether you're typing in an email or a document, if you're using it on your desktop and you have that app loaded, wherever you are, it will warn you, notify you about things that you could possibly think about doing in your document to make it a little bit better. So for example, instead of saying, 8-year-old without the hyphens, it looks more professional to actually put the hyphens in, because that is the correct way to do that. Grown up is all these kinds of things here. It is free. And then, of course, because they do need to pay their bills, you can actually pay for a service, which gives you some added functionality. But the free version is totally functional. So let me just... So when you have an account and you log in, you get this. Why did not keep the zoom? That should have kept the zoom. There we go. So you can put the extension into Chrome. You can actually just... So here, let me just... So you see down here, it's checking. This is a demo document. So it takes a couple of seconds, and now it's giving you all these different suggestions. So, these are critical issues. Okay, this is not the right way to do this. This should be an inch, not a inch. And then if you go in and you fix it, then it goes away. But it highlights all these things for you, and it makes it very easy to see, and it gives you the actual answer on what it is that you could be doing differently. So that is one thing. You can actually also upload documents, and it will do that kind of a scan for you. And actually, let me just bring you back here. Okay. Let's see, what else? Yeah, so you can upgrade, you can do like all that kind of stuff. You can put it, into Chrome, so that way it's always available for you in your emails and all that kind of thing. You can actually get the apps, so you can plug it into Office, you can put it into Windows. I think, I meant to check. Hang on a second. I'm pretty sure it also works for you Mac folk, but let me just double check. Yes, it does work for Mac folks too. So it's not showing that to me because it must see that I'm just on Windows right now. But it does work on the Mac too, so you're all set for that. I'm just curious too. Now I'm curious. It's like, so is it on? I think it is. Son of a gun. Okay, and it's also on Android and iOS. So basically, you can use it everywhere you are and get the most out of it that way. So this is my #1 tool. I've been suggesting this to everybody for quite a while now. So now if you haven't heard about it before, it's out there. If you want to, like I said, the free version does all those things I was just showing you. If you want to upgrade, you certainly can. And it does give you extra, let me see, I think this shows you. I thought it did a side-by-side, but I guess it doesn't. But it adds some, it gives you more in-depth corrections. It does a little bit more checking on different document types. And it also includes a plagiarism checker, which, sometimes you don't mean to, but you do inadvertently, which is why I also always tell this to all the folks who are going off to college or even in high school. I always suggest this to them just to keep themselves out of trouble because, like I said, sometimes you don't mean to copy. You copy and paste something just as a starting point. You plan to rewrite it in your own words, but then you get distracted and you forget. So it's just a good way to cover the bases. So that's one. I don't know if anybody out there has ever used it and they have any comments or suggestions about it. Please feel free. Let us know. Don't be shy. We're very easygoing around here. Oh, the freaking... sorry, you Periscope people. I'm so sorry. This tool keeps crashing on me. Let me try it again. One sec, please. Okay, it's back. Hopefully it will stay back. I wonder if it doesn't like sharing the windows. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, so we will move on to the next one. All right, this is another one of those little time saver tools. That, especially if you're working on, big international teams, this saves you a lot of hassle here. Let me just get my picture out of the way because you kind of need to see it. So this is called World Time Buddy. This is a free time zone converter. That's not really a word because you're not changing the time zones, but it's a time zone tool. So if you wanted to find out, if you wanted to have a 10 a.m. meeting and you're on the east coast of New Jersey, but you've got your team in London and you want to find out what time that is, you can check to see. And it's very, very easy. You can change them. You can add different time zones. You can actually create an account and save them. But this is just another freebie that makes it very easy to make sure that you're not calling your coworkers overseas at 2 o'clock in the morning, which happens, unfortunately. But this is a great little tool. This is worldtimebuddy, nospaces.com. Another great way to make sure that when you are trying to communicate with somebody, they are coherent and haven't fallen asleep. Whoops. All right. So let's just switch back here for a minute. All right. So now we're going to talk about a different type of tools. So generally, communication tools fall into different groupings. So there's the chat type of tools, which gives you an easy way to talk to your teammates without having to call them, email them, get up and walk over and talk to them. And it's always funny how many times I've worked in companies who are like no remote work, but then you've got people in these giant buildings, are like 6 floors apart. Well, sometimes it's not the most convenient or even efficient thing to stop what you're doing and go 5 or 6 floors to go find the person to ask the question, only to find out that they've gone to lunch or they're in a meeting or whatever. So I can't tell you how many times in places where we're all in the same place that I found like the chat tools were the most efficient way to work. They're absolutely non-negotiable if you're working remote. You always want to make sure that if you're a remote worker, you always have the chat open on your screen so that when your other teammates at the different locations, they can always jump in and talk to you whenever. But that's the other nice thing about it. So you don't have to worry as much when you are using a chat tool that you might be breaking somebody's flow or interrupting another conversation, because you put the message in, it comes up, and then you can be assured that, yes, they will address it, but if they're in the middle of something, like if they're in the middle of fixing something very important or having a conversation, they know that the message is there, and you know that they're going to get back to you, so in a couple minutes when it's convenient, they will, and that way you have your full focus, as opposed to if you're calling somebody, you don't know what they're dealing with at that time when that phone starts to ring, and you could be interrupting them, with something, that needs attention, but may not be at the same level as the fire that they're trying to put out at the moment. So I just find it very handy. The reason I like these better than email is because things can get lost in email. People's emails can get swamped. And frankly, if you're working, in an environment that has Microsoft Office, there are just days when the Office server is just not cooperating, is misbehaving, and so emails kind of get lost or they don't show up in a timely fashion, all that kind of stuff. So that's why I'm a huge fan of chat. So let me show you. So the one that I use the most is Google Hangouts. I know that that may sound funny to people, and there have certainly been times when it has been a less reliable tool than other times. Hang on, I want to show you what I'm going to be doing here. I just had it open. Where are you? There we go. Yes. Okay, so I just want to make sure the demo is going to work. But I will tell you that, I've been using it nonstop again for the past couple of years, and it has been highly reliable. One of the perks of Google Hangouts, in addition to the fact that it is free, is that you can send, it's very good if you want to send like a block of code. It doesn't throw up on that. If you need to send an image, like a lot of times if I'm working with the developers, I'll need to send them a screen cap so they can see what I'm seeing. And it handles that beautifully. No problems. It's very quick. It doesn't, throw a fit. Sorry, I've been doing a lot of talking today. Anyway, so I can send them screen caps, and they can get it no problem. But also for those times when typing just won't do, you can very quickly switch over and either make it a phone call or a video call, so that you can have that quick verbal conversation, and then you can just shut that down and keep going back to the chat thing. So it's very handy. It has also proven very handy to have that log available. So it will save, if you set it up that way, it will save your conversations, and you can go back and if you know, like, okay, we talked about this 3 months ago and we found a solution, now we're having this problem again. What was the solution? I don't remember, blah, blah. You can go in and you can search and you can find that conversation and find that answer again, which has saved hours out of days for us. So that's why I'm a big fan. So let me switch over and I'm just going to do a little demo for you. So I have Google Hangouts up. I don't know why it's doing this little, yes, okay. Oh, we were doing little promotions. They are updating it. They're sort of giving it life again. But basically, you know, so I can send it, you know, I can say, hello, hi, what's up? And you can just go back and forth. And you can see, you know, as it's going, you can see, oh, I don't know if, yeah, okay, because my picture's not covering it. So you can see that, you know, you can see when somebody else is typing. Oops. Hard to talk and do this at the same time. So you can ask for help and you can go back and forth and blah, blah, blah. So that's just to give you the idea that, you know, it's very easy. You can have multiple conversations. I only just did this. But if you have if you're on different projects, you have different people, you can have all those different things over here. And as you can see here, you can switch it back and forth. You can make a phone call. You can make it a video call. You can message somebody. You can add somebody new to a conversation. You can have a separate conversation with somebody new. So it's very, very strong and functional and free. So it's kind of hard to argue with that. And now, of course, I forgot again to check. So let me double check and see if I think it still works with Mac. But let's be sure. How to add Hangouts to messages on Mac. So yes, you can add it to your Mac and your iOS devices too. So there you go. Win-win across the board there. Everybody can use that. Oh, hey, Amy. Hi. Amy's saying, love me some tools. She's over on YouTube. Oh, she uses World Time Buddy almost every day. Yeah. It's one of those tools that's like, oh my God, it's so much easier than having to remember and count, you know, what time is in that part of the world. And Amy also says she's a huge fan of chat tools versus email. Absolutely. It's funny because I tend to run into people that are like, oh, I hate chat tools. I hate chat tools. And I'm like, have you used one in a while? Because they've gotten really good. And like I said, it to me, it's a less invasive way of working with people. But you're still having a really good conversation. And like I said, the history has been just a lifesaver so many times. So good to see you. So now okay, so now I have to check. Oh, there it is. Okay. See, I'm using the social, but I forgot about it. So here, I can, let's bring Amy up here. Because, you know, I can, and I have to play with all of my toys. No, I didn't bring it up. Why didn't that work? That should have worked. Oh, well. Okay, I can't play with it today. But trust me, Amy's there, and she's being helpful, as always. I don't know why it didn't bring up the new message. What did I do wrong, Amy? I had it working. Oh, I bet I know. I bet I know what I did. Oh, wait, no. That's the right one. Okay, I don't know why it's not working. It should be. Oh, well. All right, I just have to try it one more time just because I can. Nope, it's bringing up an old message. What did I do wrong, Amy? You'll have to tell me later. All right. Well, sorry. I don't have to distract you with that. That's just disappointing. I was all excited. I thought I had it all working. See, this is why I'm not ready to to do a review on this yet. Okay. Anyway, so let me just check in, see if anybody else has got anything they want to throw down on this. No, we're good? Okay. So that's that one. So there's other ones out there. If you don't like Google, you don't want to use Google, that's all fine too. Another one that's very popular that I can show you is Slack. Give me 1 second and I will get that going. So Slack, okay, how do I explain Slack? It's definitely a chat tool. Okay, so that's hands down. It's very popular in some industries and some companies that they're just, you know, all about using Slack. It's got a lot of, you know, the animated GIFs, and there's some chat bots that you can use, and there's lots of integrations with third-party tools and all that. That said, I do know that a lot of people find it complicated and find it hard to keep track of all the conversations. So let me Let me just show you. So this is one of the chats that I'm in, one of the Slack worlds that I'm in. So that's the other thing with Slack is when you are, if you're using Slack for like more than one project, or, you know, if you are a freelancer, you're working for different companies, everybody's using Slack, you have to have, you have different URLs for each one. So it's not like you can switch back and forth like you can with Hangouts where you have them all on the left side. Do I still have that open? I do. So like here, you know, you could have all these conversations, you know, open, and you could just switch between them. With Slack, it's a different URL for each community you're a part of. So that's just another factor of why some people find it complicated and not as useful for them, because it requires too much flipping around. You know, it's with all of these things, it's whatever works for you and your team is the right tool to use. So the nice thing about it is, you know, that you can have all these different channels, so you can have very targeted conversations. Yeah, okay, I don't really need that right now. So you know, you can see everything that's unread, which will just be a core dump of everything across the board. But you can also, you know, go and jump around and see. You know, you see I haven't been in this one in a while because this is not what I'm working with a lot right now. But you can see what's going on. You can see conversations. You can also do one-on-one conversations that are private in quotes, because if a company has paid for access, they have access to it. If you're in the free, supposedly that's more secure, which at first sounds a little counterintuitive, but if you think about it, it's like if you're working in a company, you know, they have the right to listen to your phone calls, they have the right to review your emails. You know, if they hear anything or see anything personal, they're supposed to not keep looking, but how are you going to know? So that's why if they pay for it, they get that access. If it's the free one, then they don't have it because they don't have any rights to it. So that's why that goes on. You can search through. You can also embed images and that kind of stuff. Personally, I find the chatbots and the animated GIFs and all that a little distracting for the work environment. I have used this for some, I guess, event planning, if you want to say, like, you know, family trips and that kind of stuff. And then it's more fun to do that kind of stuff. But again, if it works for you, that's fine. So this is, I mean, this is basically it. You know, you can search, you can look around. Let's see. I'm just going to do a random search and see what comes up. Is anybody talking about blue? Oh, what do you know? So there's David. So there are some people. So yeah, you get, you know, nice search results here. You can filter it, you know, so you can just see messages. You can attach files. So it is very functional. Like I said, it doesn't map to some people's mind maps or mental pictures as well as it does for some others. So I will say that a lot of times I find that technical environments, the developer communities and all that, they tend to just absolutely love Slack. Slack is also, which I don't remember if I've already said it, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but it has a ton of third-party integration, so you can connect it to just about anything out there that they might be using. So, you know, it's something to keep in mind if you're looking for a tool to do some communicating back and forth, and you want to have that search capability and file attachments and all that kind of stuff. It's not a bad way to go. I still don't think, although I'm seeing it up here. Okay, so if you have the paid version of, you can start calls. I'm pretty sure those are voice only. I don't think those are video, but to be honest, I haven't been on a paid account in a little while, so I'm not sure if maybe they've updated that. So that's a difference between this and Hangouts, because in Hangouts everybody can do either the phone call or the video call. So anyway, that's another one. There's a ton of them out there. You can definitely search and find all kinds of other ones to test drive. Those are just two that I've used a lot and that I know a lot of teams use. There's things like HipChat. There's Workplace, Workforce. I think it's Workplace by Facebook. You know, again, we can get into the whole conversation about Facebook and how much do you really want them to know and all that kind of good stuff. But that's a whole conversation for another day. The fact is that there's a bunch of tools out there, and you have plenty of choices. And sometimes you need to try one or two to see, you know, what's going to work best. The one thing I will say is, if you're going to do that, you need to give it a good 6 weeks at least to be sure that it's not just people reacting badly because it's new or different. Usually by the 6-week point, you know whether or not they're going to get comfortable with it and figure it out or not. Sorry, I guess my voice is not going to work. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I find, you know, that 6 week mark is pretty good. That's the point where everybody is either going to get adjusted to it and decide, okay, this isn't so bad, or they're just never going to get around to it. Let's see. So Amy says, for Slack, I use apps instead of a browser. Yep. It allows me to add multiple Slack communities. Oh, I didn't realize that. So if you're using the Slack app, is it the native Slack app, or is it a third party? So Amy's saying that for Slack, she uses apps instead of a browser because that lets her have multiple communities that she can switch between. She's obviously a huge Slack fan. And the channels are great to segment topics. So yeah, that's the nice thing. So let me I'll switch back. So that's what all these are here. So you can have just general, but I don't know if this one's got a general one. Usually everybody's, yeah, here's the general. So some people just do everything in the one channel, but that's not really the most effective use of Slack. So maybe you would do general for general project conversation, but then, you know, if you were going to talk about different pieces of the project that you're working on, you would want to create your own channels for those. So that way you can keep those conversations a little more focused. And if somebody starts to go off topic, kind of point them to the right channel to put it in so that you can keep it organized that way. But yeah, no, I never realized that you could do switching on the app. That would be huge. I would be willing to give Slack a try again. Native Slack apps on the Mac and iPhone. Okay. I'll have to give that a try. I tried the Slack app when it first came out, but I didn't see that, and it's been a while. Maybe they've added it, so maybe I will go back. Maybe I will give Slack another chance, because that would be kind of nice then. Because I do like the multiple channels. You know, it's the different level between like Hangouts. Hangouts I tend to use when I'm having like the one-on-one conversations with developers, or you know, you can do a group chat in it too. But generally, I'm needing to like, you know, get somebody to fix something or ask somebody a question. Slack is not project management, but it's project discussion, if that makes any sense. So it's not, you know, you're not Gantt charts and all that kind of stuff, but it is, you can focus the conversations for the project. And like I said, by creating a channel like Amy was saying, you can focus in and you know, keep those threads, which are, you know, smaller parts of the bigger project, but you can keep those running in parallel so that you're not crossing the lines. That happens a lot. A lot of people try to cut corners by using email for this, but email threads turn into such a mess very quickly because people either are answering out of sequence, or they're mixing in things from different conversations, or maybe they missed a conversation, and so now they're re-answering the questions that have already been answered, and maybe taking that answer and destroying it in the process. So emails is a messy thing. Email is fine if, you know, you want to have like a quick, you know, here's some information, or I need some information or something. But for the longer conversation, something like Slack can work, and thanks to Amy's information, now it might actually work for me as I work on different projects at the same time. Because that's the thing that's driven me crazy, like, oh shoot, I got to log into this one, oh shoot, I got to log into that one. And I'm in a lot of different worlds at the moment, so the less switching around I have to do, the better off I am. Thank you, Amy. Always writing to the rescue, Amy. That's all great. I appreciate that. Okay, so I'm just checking around here to see how everybody's doing, because I have to remember to do that. Usually I can do this while Mara's talking, but Mara's not here. It's making my life a little more complicated today. That's okay. I can deal with it because I had a really good day. Okay, so we're good. All right, since I'm taking a break here, so let me just, hang on, sorry. Let me make sure. So that was the team chat. It's really team and individual chats. It's really just chat. All right, so that's good. So let me just take a quick break here and remind you that if you want to get notified about when we go live, sometimes we go live just on the fly. We're always live on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. But make sure that you like and follow us so that you get the notifications about when we're going live. If you want to join the mailing list, you can do that by going to thebazone.com/mailing list. And that way you'll get all of the information about what we're doing, what's coming up. We've got some big plans that hopefully are going to kick off in the next couple of months. And if you want to hear about it first, if you want to be at the front of the line, you can go ahead and sign up for the mailing list. And rest assured, we don't sell it, we don't spam. We really don't even send out that many emails because we appreciate the fact that you've signed up and we don't want to waste your time. Let's see, what else? You can also find us on Twitter and on Instagram. Obviously, we have the website. We're on Periscope. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We try to be every place that you want to be. Any place, whatever your favorite is. And if we're not someplace that you like to hang out, by all means, let us know. All right, let me move on to the next set. which is meetings video chat. Now there's a little bit of overlap here, particularly because of Google Hangouts, because you can run meetings off of that too. You can have, the number keeps changing, but you can have several people join a video conference at the same time. You can do that also with things like Skype. Skype is a pretty safe bet if you're working for most big offices, but pretty much all of them have it. The biggest problem with Skype is it's a little bloated at this point, and so it uses up a lot of resources on people's systems, and it also sends a lot of data through, so sometimes the connections get a little wonky because it's demanding so much of the hardware and the internet. Something that is a little bit better, do I have that up here? I thought I did. Let me look. Okay, so this is one that I have been using a lot, Zoom, and it is, to be honest, it's freaking amazing because it lets you have a whole bunch of people on there at once. I'm just trying to bring the screen up on its own. Having to do this manually because it's not working with my X keys tonight. So you can, where's that little picture? Did the picture go away? All right, it'll come back. You can have many people in a Zoom meeting at once. They can all, talk. They can be on video. You can switch control around if people need to share their screen. And the free version gives you, Amy, you probably know off the top of your head, I think the free version lets you do 50 people at once. Maybe I'm overstating. Maybe it's a little bit less than that. But it is an amazing tool. It is very lightweight, and yet you get a really good, clear signal. Amy and I are in a group, and we've been in Zoom sessions that have had, 30 people in it at once. And it just does a really lovely job of showing everybody. And like I said, you can do screen share and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you have to have the paid version, but you can also record sessions so you can have them later. I'm not clear if that's the paid or the free. But it's just really, really an awesome tool. And it is the kind of thing that, frankly, probably has the Slack team running a little scared these days. So that is very handy. The other nice thing about it, you can also do this with Skype, is you can do it on the fly. So if maybe you're going back and forth in emails or in chat and, people are just not coming to a decision or the answer is not coming up cleanly, sometimes you just need to quickly jump on and have that face-to-face voice and video conversation to talk things out and get everybody on the same page. And this is a great tool to do that with. So I cannot recommend that highly enough. It is really an amazing, amazing tool. And wow, for the price, you really can't beat it. You can also do that kind of thing using a tool called Join Me, which I should have brought up. Let me see. I can join. Before I started using Zoom, I used Join Me. Again, for free, you can host a meeting. You can do screen shares. You can invite different people. They can attend just with audio, or they can do audio and video, whatever you like. Again, you can share the control. So it's been, it's also a very good tool. It doesn't have all of the bells and whistles of Zoom, especially as far as like showing everybody at once on a screen. But again, it can be very handy for quick, and it doesn't have to cost you anything because they are very nice about letting you use it for free. They do have paid versions if you need more out of it, but for free, you can get comfortable with it, check it out, and see if you like it. Let's see. So Amy is saying, I love the gallery view in Zoom. That was the word. I was trying to think of the word. Yeah, so that in Zoom you can do a gallery view, which basically, whoops, sorry, I'm not up on the screen here. Let me bring that up. So you can do a gallery view, which is like everybody's picture is a square, and it just keeps filling up the whole screen. And it's great because you can see everybody at once. You can see them, nodding their head or shaking their head no, or see if their dog jumps up in the picture, which happens to all of us a lot. So that Zoom is, yeah, I agree with Amy. Amy said that Zoom has become her preferred group meeting tool, and I'm right there with her. That has definitely been my go-to lately. Zoom handles screen resolution much better than Google. Yep, absolutely. I'm amazed at how crisp and clear the video feed is when you have, 30, 40 people in at one time. And sometimes they're all talking at once. What also with Zoom, well, I should have asked you to join, Amy. Maybe we can do this on another night. We could have done a demo. But so with Zoom, not only do you get the video, and you can see, you know, the gallery view of everybody, but you can have a panel open on the side with a chat window, and then, I don't know what they call the window at the top, but you can vote, or like if you ask the group a question and say, you know, everybody, you know, raise your hands if you agree with this, and they can raise their hand virtually. They can also do it on the screen if they want, but they can open it, you know, they can do it up in this little panel, or that you can have them vote yes or no. So there's some really cool tools in that, and it's, I cannot get over how well it functions. Participants pane. See, I knew she'd know. Thanks, Amy. So the one up at the top right where you can, you know, vote and say yes or no or whatever. It's participants pane, and it's great. It's another way to get people. Sometimes when you're on those video calls, people won't chime in, but by including the chat and the participants pane, it just gives people another way. Just like with Facebook and Periscope and all that, with the hearts and the thumbs up and the smiley faces and all that kind of stuff. It just gives people another way to interact if they're not comfortable speaking up for whatever reason, or they can't speak up because they're in an environment, you know, where that happens to me a lot. Sometimes I get on the meetings and I'm in what I call stealth mode, where I'm watching and I'm chatting, but I can't talk because I'm in a room where that's just not an option. So it makes it possible for everybody to participate in the manner that works best for them for the situation they're in at that moment. So, yes, I'm going on. I don't get any money from Zoom. I am not a stakeholder. I don't have stock in it, although I would love to. I love it. It's very, very helpful, and so I like to share those kind of tools with everybody. Okay, so I'm going way down the rabbit hole on this here. So there's other ones. You can do this with YouTube Live. There's another one called Figure It Out, which is a Chrome extension you can plug in to start meetings on the fly. So that's another way to go. All right, so let's get into pseudo project management. We're not talking about, like, you know, Gantt charts here and being an actual PM. I'm just talking about managing a project, making sure that nothing gets missed, making sure all the pieces are there, making sure that everybody is on the same page about what needs to be done and who's doing what. And for that, what am I going to do here? Okay, that was that one. So, all right, we're going to go to my all-time favorite, Trello. Love Trello. I use Trello for everything. If you've never seen it before, let me open one up for you. This is just, they have a bunch of demo ones. So this is one of the demo ones. This is nothing I've worked on. I don't know who any of these people are. They may not even be real. They may be from stock photography. But the idea is that you have all these different cards, and you can, you know, add information. You can put labels on it. You can set due dates. You can assign it to things. As you can see, you can add images. You can add files. This little, like the numbers that you're seeing on here, this is actually a plugin that I added so that you can see how many items you have. You can use this for anything that pops into your head. So you can have lots and lots of these. Actually, I should probably just go into one of ours so I can move some stuff around. Let me see. Do I have enough in this one? I'm just looking for a good example here. Hang on a sec. No. See, I've been rearranging some of mine. All right, I think I have a ton of stuff in this one. So yeah, so I added this because I can't always tell. So like this one, I have 184 cards in here. I need to go in and clean this one up. But what's nice here is that, like, if you need to move something from one to another, you can do that. You can go in and you can, you know, add comments. Oops, would help if I could spell. You can add labels, and the nice thing is, so the labels are color-coded, and then you can go in and you can say, you know, so this is a favorite, this is maybe a to-do, and then you can actually filter the board based off of these. You can invite people to the board. You can, like I said, you can set due dates, you can add checklists to things. It is just super, super powerful. And it's really just limited by your imagination. So, for example, one of the things that I did on a project, they didn't have the finances for a real tracking system, particularly for the documents. That's where we're running into a lot of problems. People were trying to stay up to date on their documents using just email, and of course, and nobody was looking at the right version of the document, and the developer had spent all this time developing on something and didn't find out that the whole plan had changed because he missed that email. So what I did was I created a new Trello board, and on it I just added, different cards for all the different projects. And then for the project that they were on, I made sure everyone was invited, and I attached all of the latest documentation to the board with a little description and what it was for and what the last updated was. So every time somebody needed to go work on something, they just got into the habit of going to Trello. They would find the most current one. They'd look to make sure that that was the information they were working off of, or if they had a question about why something was a certain way, everybody could go there and use it, and it was great. So it's a project management tool. You can use it, I'm not going to say this right, the Kanban boards or whatever. That's a method a lot of people do, and these boards are great for that. Let's see. Amy's saying, have you tried Uber Conference? I use it for conference calls now. Oh, you can see who's on the call, and no guessing if someone showed up. She's using the free version. So Uber Conference. No, I haven't heard of that one, Amy. So that's another good meeting tool. So it's just for it's conference call. So is it just for audio calls, or is it also for video? Because you're saying that you can see who's on the call. You don't have to guess if somebody showed up, which is a good thing. So you don't have those people, sorry, I'm late. It's okay. We know. We can see you. And Amy's also a fan of Trello. I'm not surprised. We share the love of many tools. It's great for project management. It's great for organization. Again, it's one of these tools. I use it for everything in my life. It's my shopping list. Like today, when I had my nephew come over to give me a hand, I had a whole Trello board built of all the things I was hoping that we would get done. And I had, checklists of, like for the sub projects, it's like, okay, we're going to do this, and here are all the steps we have to remember to take, and here are the stuff we have to go pick up at Home Depot and all that kind of stuff. It's just great. And then when you're done, I should show you that. Let me see. I can just add a new one. So you can create a new list, right, on the fly, and then you can add a new card saying stuff to do and more stuff. And then when you're done with it, so you can come in and you can just archive it. Now the nice thing about that is it's still there. So if you need to go back and reactivate that card, you can. A lot of people make the mistake of deleting the card, but if you do that, then you can't go back to it. And in particular, like if you're using it for document tracking, for bug tracking, for anything like that, you definitely want to go with the archive option, because that way you can get back to something if you need to do it. So huge time saver right there. So yeah, again, and Trello, again, is free. You can invite people to it. You can theme it. You see like how they've got like the different backgrounds. So, if you want to jazz it up, you certainly can do that. There's all kinds of plugins. You can plug into other tools. There's a plugin, I don't particularly like it, but some people on the last project I was working on did, where it turns the older ones kind of like old papery looking. So the older a particular item gets, the more old it presents, so it starts to look like it was something that would be in a museum if somebody hasn't given it enough time, or hasn't addressed it in enough time. You can have more than one label at a time. You can search to see if somebody has, assigned something just to you or has mentioned you. You can search and get all those back. So very quickly you can go and see me. Of course, this is a shared board. This is a demo board, so I wouldn't be on it. But that's just another, handy little thing there. So that is just all, it's a very, very powerful tool. Let's see, Amy's saying, I love the checklist feature on Trello card. Yeah, that's sort of become my calling card. Everybody knows that if there's a ton of checklists in there, I've probably been working on that board. But it's great because it really helps you stay organized. And this, I don't know, Amy, if you've ever used this plugin, but I'm finding it very handy for me. Let me go back. The one that actually shows the numbers. It takes a second, but I mean, this really helps me get organized because I can quickly see like, okay, these two boards I have not been giving enough love to, and I need to take care of that. And that's a free plugin that I just added on recently, because I'm like, how many cards are on this? I feel like I'm scrolling forever. Well, I was right. I am scrolling forever. How many total cards are on this particular Trello board? 530. Again, I need to do a little cleanup this week. All right, so that's that one. There are, of course, other ones. There's this one, Asana, A-S-A-N-A. I don't know if I brought that up. Let me bring that up for you. So this is one that a friend of mine swears by. She uses this on all of her projects. Let's see. It's kind of the same idea in that, you can sign things to people, you can set severity levels and due dates. It's sort of Trello-ish, but she finds for her that it presents things in a way that works better for her brain. So, hey, that's what it's all about, is finding the right tool for your brain and your team's brain. And you can break it up by projects and all that kind of stuff. So this is another tool that she likes. I asked her about the pricing and we got distracted. So it does have free. So this is say up to 15 members free. So that's not a bad way to test drive. And then $9.99 a month if you find it's useful. Maybe your whole team wants to do it. Maybe your company would pony up for that. So just some other names. Float is another one. That one does also sort of like resource tracking. So again, for me, that's starting to move a little bit too much into like, you know, Gantt charts and all that, which is not, I'm very happy to leave that to the PMs. But if you need something that's got a little bit more of that functionality in it, this is float.com, and that's another one worth looking at, and also has a free trial, so that's good. So that is also worth looking at. All right, let me just take a quick gander here and make sure that everybody is okay. We're on the same page. Okay, we look good. Okay, so Amy says she's got a few Chrome plugins that she uses with Trello. Oh, you just started using, oh, that's so funny. You're using I don't know how to say Asana? Asana? That's what I'm going with. I'm going with Asana for now because I don't know how to pronounce it. That's right. So so Amy's saying that she just started with that one. Of course, I probably just closed that. Let me get that. So how did you, are you liking it? Is it working for you? So here's what the layout looks like. It's certainly a cleaner layout than Trello. I mean, Trello can get a little much. Let's see, I'll go back to mine with the 80,000 cards on it. But are you finding that that's working for you? Because if it's working for your brain, I might have to go try it. Milestones, planning, so I guess you can just pretty much... Yeah, so it's kind of the Trello board idea. You can move things around, you can follow the conversation. Is there something particular in this, Amy, that you're finding that Trello doesn't make available to you, either natively or through a plugin? Or are you just trying this just to try something new? I'm curious. Oh, this is nice. The calendar thing is nice. I'm liking it so far, of course, but I'm choosing the Trello board format. I can understand that. This is kind of nice. I like the this calendar feature. That's an interesting way to present the data. Well, I might have to try this. All right. Thank you. Okay, we'll see. Because if Amy's liking it, I trust Amy. If she likes it, I have to go check it out. All right. So, all right. So we're going to get into a couple of productivity things, but again, I just want to take a quick break here and remind you that you can follow us, right. So it's the follows that will give you the notifications, so that you get you'll know when we're going to go live. It's every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. But so, you know, for when we're going to jump on the fly, you know, you can always do that. You can go to thebazone.com if you're looking for more content. We've got blog postings there. We've got our whole archive of the shows that we've done, and just general BA related information, as you will. So there's lots of stuff over there. We're also out on Twitter. So especially for you folks on Periscope, if you're catching this on a replay and you want to contribute, you have questions or whatever, please feel free to hit us up on Twitter. You can DM or tweet at us. And if you don't like any of those, if you go to the BA Zone, we also have a contact form, so you can feel free to use that. As of course, always the thumbs and the the thumbs, the hearts, the, you know, all that kind of stuff. That's fun too. We get a kick out of that. That's very, very cute. I do laugh at those. Those are, it's a nice way to let us know that you're out there and you're watching and you're finding this helpful. Okay, so we will get into the last bit here now, which is productivity. And this mostly is probably for yourself, but again, it may be the kind of thing that your teammates will also find helpful, so feel free to share the wealth. One of the ones that has been very popular lately is Todoist. This is basically it's a to-do list, but it's available across everything, so you can get to it on your browser, you can load an app on your phone or whatever, and it's a nice centralized location to put all that kind of stuff in. Of course, you can also do, if you are a Google person, as I am, Google Keep is the same kind of idea. And you can color code it and date it, and you've got your checklist and all that kind of stuff, so that's a good way to go. There's also things like you know, GitHub can be handy if you're looking to organize and share materials and also get like a revision history on it. Most people think of GitHub for code, which absolutely is what it's for, but there are also some people who've gotten very creative and found ways to make it work for documents and images, so it's another good thing to look at. Let's see, what else? Things like Google Drive, Box, Dropbox, those are all great ways, again, to share content in a way that will increase the odds. There's no 100% guarantees, but it will certainly increase the odds that people are looking at the most current version of whatever materials you're sharing. It also is a great way to make sure that people are working on the same documents. Because again, if you are sending things via email and things are flying around the universe, sorry, I got my hair cut and I'm just not happy with it. It's just better to have them all centralized. When you're working in things like Dropbox and the Google stuff, of course, you can all work on the same things at the same time. I will say that hands down, one of the things I find most useful in the Google stuff, whether it's Sheets or what do they call the presentation one? Slides, I think, and Docs, is the ability to have multiple people working on it at the same time, and you can see what everybody is doing. Also, the revision history that comes up in Google Docs has been very, very helpful on a lot of projects, especially when you're in that crunch time and things need to get done quickly. It's just so great to have everybody, you know, jump into what they need to do, and you can see everything at the same time. Huge, huge resource. And then also having that history on the side that you can open up. Again, you know, when people go back in 6 months, they're like, well, you know, why did we do this? It's got the history. You can put the little notes in there. You can see the conversations maybe that went on back and forth. If somebody asked a question about a section and somebody answered it and then made the edits, you've got that nice history, so you can go back and you're not reinventing the wheel all the time. You're not having the same discussions all the time because you can go back and get that answer. I don't remember. Why did we do? You go in there and it's right there. Huge time saver, huge improvement to the overall communication for your project. Yes, I'm ranting a little bit. I didn't know. Oh, so Amy's mentioning about GitHub being used for, I guess, like the documents and the images. It's a little bit of a hack to make it work, but if you are, you know, technical enough and you want to poke around in there and do it, it can work. I tried it on a project not too long ago. All right, I'm just not happy with the haircut. I'm sorry, but it's just really distracting. I should have just pulled it all back. Anyway, sorry. It's my personal problem, not yours. Yeah, so anyway, I tried doing it on GitHub for a project a while back, and not surprisingly, the more technical people were more comfortable with it. The rest of them were not, so it was semi-successful. They ended up going back to doing everything in SharePoint, but their SharePoint setup was not very stable. So I kept storing things in other places just as a backup because we had lost documents a couple of times in SharePoint, and that's just unacceptable, especially when you're under the gun. So there is that. Okay, so that is what I have for you tonight. Those are all of my favorites, and Mara's favorites too. I'm speaking for Mara since she's not here tonight. And just looking to see if anybody has tossed in other favorites. Amy has been wonderful about pitching in tonight. Thank you. I always appreciate that. All right, I think we're good then. So I am going to wrap up then. Thank you so much for being here. I expect Mare to be back next week, fingers crossed. So hopefully you'll get both of us and I will be able to maintain my voice a little bit better. Please, if you're catching this on the replay and you have any questions, comments, other suggestions, please go ahead and throw them in. On Facebook, you can throw them in the comments. The same for YouTube. It's going to be interesting to see if the YouTube comments thing works. Thank you so much for commenting on YouTube, Amy, so I can test that. Because supposedly on YouTube now, the comments are going to carry over into the replays. We shall see. And if you folks over on Periscope are watching this and you have questions or comments, feel free to hit us up on Twitter or go to thebazone.com and hit up the comments form. Okay, I think that's everything. And let me just double check. Yes, we are good. Okay. All right, so have a lovely evening or day, depending on where you are in the world. And we will see you next week on Tuesday. Be honest, I don't remember off the top of my head what the topic is, but we will post it so that you will know, okay? All right, thanks so much, everyone. Have a good one. Bye-bye.